What's going on, guys? So in front of me, you were looking at my 2024 Ford F450 Platinum with its new FLOG full bumper replacement installed. Now, I've already done a reveal video, so if you haven't checked that out, definitely go back and check that out if you want to kind of see the journey of getting this installed, some of the things that the folks over at CNS Truck Equipment actually went through to put this on, and their impressions of this bumper, because I think most of the folks who watched that video probably came away thinking of how high quality of a product FLOG puts out, because yeah, just everything about this thing is impeccably well built. The welds, the overall fit and finish, the installation, all of that, and the folks at CNS Equipment now carry this. So really good opportunity for those of you who are at least in the Texas area, who want a dealer who can sell you this, who can install this for you and customize it for you with the custom match paint. You know, great place to go. That said, today we're going to talk about why this bumper in a little bit more depth, because there's a lot of folks who wanted to specifically know why I didn't go back to some of the other bumpers that I'd collaborated with in the past. Hang tight, I'll be right back. Okay, so FLOG Industries, manufacturer of this FLOG bumper. This is the Frontier series with the full guard. Basically, it has this whole wrap. You can also get this with a bull guard, which is a center wrap, and you can get it as a bumper only. Plus, they carry other things you can attach to it to customize it if you want more of like a show truck look. But this is what I would consider to be more of their utility truck look. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. You could put this on a truck and make it a show truck very easily, but the reality behind this bumper is the fact that it is a very structural, functional bumper. The folks over at FLOG put a lot of thought into this. I think most people that watch my channel and have watched it for a long time and truly understand the type of equipment that I will put on my vehicle is not for show. Yes, it has to look good. I think anybody would admit that. You're not going to go out and buy the ugliest thing you see just because it's functional. At least most people won't. You want some cosmetic appeal to things that you buy. I think anybody would agree with that, especially if you're shopping for a newer truck. So I definitely wanted a bumper that looked fantastic, and this definitely checks that box. But that was not the primary box I wanted checked. If this bumper was not functional in the sense of being able to support a very large winch, if it wasn't protective and it didn't have the right piping, if it didn't have the right design and engineering, I would not have gone with it. If it just looked pretty, but it didn't function the way I wanted it to, it definitely would not be something on my vehicle. There are a lot of products out there that look pretty, but they don't necessarily function in a utility manner when you need it to function. A lot of folks know that I do some volunteer work, and I also for work respond to hurricanes, respond to natural disasters and things like that. And if you watch the video where I responded to Hurricane Michael, we went out there as a team and we removed trees from homes, trees from trapped vehicles. Using a winch to me is something that's far more than you might not have to use it. I'm gonna use it. I'm not going to use it a ton. I'm going to use it when I need to use it, and when I need to use it, it needs to function the way I need it to function. So having a very heavy-duty winch that was mountable in the bumper was very important to me, and FLOG produces a bumper that can handle the largest of truck winches. From a Warren perspective, that would typically be like the 16.5 TIS. They also have the M12. I've actually used both of those winches. So if you recall, the truck I had previously originally had a ranch hand bumper with the Warren M12 inside of it. Huge frame winch, big heavy beast of a winch, but it had a 12,000 pound maximum line pull capability. We changed to the 16.5 TIS in our road armor bumper, and we used that a lot. We really put that thing through the ringer. We used it for a beach cleanup project when we were removing things that were dug into the dirt really deep. We've recovered several vehicles with it, and we've also used it for hurricane assistance and emergency response. So it really came in handy to have a big winch. This time around, we opted to go for something a little different. So the FLOG bumper has a great opening in the front to be able to support just about any size large frame winch. We definitely pushed the bounds a little bit with this bad boy. So this is the Superwinch 18,000 pound Tiger Shark. This thing is huge. It was so large, as a matter of fact, that they called me when they were installing it saying we may not be able to get this to fit in here because they were trying to bottom mount it, and when they said, oh, you know what, let's just front mount it, which is ideal, it fit perfectly. So You can see there's a good amount of room. It's definitely not trapped in there. They wanted to put the control box hidden back behind there and just use the wireless control, but I really wanted to have the corded control option because honestly, even though I have the wireless control remote and you wire it in, I typically use the corded remote. It's the first thing I gravitate to whenever I'm going to use a winch. I don't know why. Having the corded remote is really nice, especially if you want to be a little further away from where things are being winched. But I usually, again, like to use the corded, and it simply plugs into the side right here. But we also have the cordless option installed as well. You have a way of engaging it right here, and then rotating this sideways like this, and free spooling it. So free spooling is what you would do when you want to pull the line out to get where you want to go to connect to whatever you're connecting to. Of course, using a winch like this is always going to be benefited whenever you pair it to shackle straps and other recovery equipment. But that said, I'm super excited to use Superwinch. Again, this is a product that my channel sponsor etrailer.com carries. I wanted to switch it up a little bit instead of putting the Warren winch that I typically put in. Do I think Warren winch is a more premium winch? It is more expensive. It is significantly more expensive, but I hear the same amount of positive reviews on Superwinches as I do on Warren, and you save a lot of money. This winch is about $1,000 less than the 16.5 TIS, and you get more capacity out of it, and there's a lot of really great engineering that goes into this as well. On the front though, with the hook, we replaced the hook that came with the Superwinch with this Warren Epic hook, which I am a big fan of. I love the Epic hook. It's a much better looking hook. It matches the look of the truck a lot better. I'm going to swap this out probably, or just take this off. This is what you use to actually pull on whenever you're pulling the hook out if you don't want to grab it by the hook surface itself. But I really love the Epic series from Warren. Looks really, really nice. The good thing about winches is the fact that you can mix and match things, which is also really nice. We have our synthetic fair lead up here, so it doesn't have the rollers, which you would typically see with a cable fair lead, but that looks really, really nice up front. I love how they did the backing on here in white, so it really makes that stand out. And I love the fact that the FLOG Bumper directly has hidden integration for all of your components related to your radar cruise control, and it functions perfectly. I've had absolutely zero problems. We have our parking sensors over here, parking sensor going all the way around. They are spaced a little bit further in than where they might be on your factory bumper, which are usually towards the edges over here, but they function real well and they work really well. But yeah, this is a beast of a bumper. Really like it. We went the Diode Dynamic lights. I spent some time yesterday in the dark when we're out here in the yard, kind of adjusting them, putting them up and down, making the right angle so they're not blinding people, and they are super, super bright, super effective. I'll do another video kind of going over the functionality of some of this stuff. But the main point of this video is to point out the fact that I know a lot of folks are like, why didn't you go with Road Armor? Why didn't you go with Fab 4s? Why didn't you go with Ranch Hand? Well, again, I wanted to do something different, something that matched the lines of the 450 a little bit better, something that was a little bulkier right here and didn't have that pre-runner look where they curve up really high, something that gave the front of the truck a little bit more of a substantial, more protected feel, and I really like that. This is a lot of really thick steel. It's put together really well. All the welds are absolutely impeccable. I mean, the welds are the best welds I've seen on any bumper ever. Not even kidding you. It is fantastic, the fit and finish and quality work that goes into this. Now, a lot of folks are going to ask me, what about the back? What about the back bumper? So the back bumper will also be replaced eventually. Now, the folks over at FLOG have a version that fits the back, but they've been modifying it. They've been doing some things to it to make it a little bit more accommodating, and I appreciate that. One of those things, I believe, is to make these steps larger than they currently are. I love the fact that Ford has these large steps on the corner. Yes, I know they kind of took the idea from GM, but I love the fact that they're there. I love the fact that they have the steps on the side right here, but they have to be functional. They have to stick out enough and have enough surface for you to step on, and I'm not going to replace a bumper just to replace a bumper. If I put a bumper on, it needs to at least have the functionality, the convenience, and the ability to be useful as the bumper I took off. I'm not just going to put a bumper with smooth corners on because I really, really love these steps. And why would I sacrifice that just for looks? And that's an area that, again, anything I do on my truck isn't just for looks. It's got to be functional first, and then it also has to look good as well. But that's the reason why we don't have a FLOG bumper on the back yet. They are working on the design. They're doing some tweaks to it, but we will prototype a FLOG bumper on the back in a future video. So that'll be another build. Still trying to figure out how I want to do the paint scheme. Probably very similar, right? We'll probably do the white on the outside, the black on the inside. And that's kind of similar to what we did on the previous F450, but a little different on the back. But I think that kind of answers the questions most people had. Again, super happy with this thing. It is a beast of a bumper. It looks fantastic on the truck. It definitely follows the lines really well, like a lot of people mentioned. I would never have even heard of this brand if it weren't for you, the viewer, or a few of you at least, who left comments saying, have you looked at FLOG? Have you considered FLOG? And then when I reached out to them, I was super happy that they really wanted to collaborate. They were like, you know what? We have typically done a lot of show trucks, a lot of trucks that people might send to SEMA, a lot of trucks that you might see on channels where people are trying to give them big lift kits and things like that. But we build a really awesome bumper that's structural, strong, and can do what you need it to do for any task. And that was the reason why they really wanted to collaborate on this one, is because they wanted to show people that it is about looks, but first and foremost, it's about function. And this bumper offers a tremendous amount of that. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys think. First time we get to put the winch to use, we'll definitely show you guys what it's capable of. I'll do a nighttime video, show you what the Diode Dynamic lights are capable of, how they function. We'll definitely go over all of this and let you see how we use this bumper anytime we have an opportunity. Anyways, guys, I sure hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.